This review contains spoilers. We are starting with Rayla struggling with her band on her wrist, while Caleb and Ezran are sleeping. Then we have a cut to the kingdom of King Harrow and see that a funeral began. The king is dead. Byron talks to the people and lies to them about the king and the princess. He wants to make himself to the king. On the next day, Rayla explains how magic works and draws symbols in his book. Kaelan remembers these symbols from an item he saw in the Winter Lodge, the place where King Harrow wanted to send his kids to. Rayla doesn't want to go there, but Kaelan can convince her. Arrived at the lodge, Rayla breaks in while Callum and Ezran wait outside. While they're waiting, an army arrives at the lodge. It is their Aunt Amaya. She noticed Callum's behavior and the open window Rayla was going through and start to search the building. But Ezran can distract her. Ezran wants to talk with Amaya about the egg and the elves, but Callum is sure that she wouldn't listen because she thinks that they are monsters. Rayla, still on the search for the box, can avoid the soldiers. After she finds the cube, Rayla gets attacked by Amaya, and we see a nice little fight which Amaya wins easily and knocks her out. Rayla wakes up, bound to a timber. Callum and Ezran can help her so that she can free herself. The three try to run away, but the soldiers catches them. Callum says to her aunt what she believed is true, but this doesn't work. So Rayla takes Ezran and Callum as hostages, and they can flee with a boat. Then we jump to Viren, who is in the process to getting to be the new king. Amaya arrives right before and can stop it, and tells everyone that the princes are alive. What did I think about this episode? Well, let's get into this. Rayla struggling with her wristband and looking towards Calum with a sad expression gave me the feeling that she feels with him and that she might experienced a similar loss, a similar experience. Then we have to cut to the funeral. Here we get introduced to the first new character in the series. O'Pelly, who seems to be the leader of the spiritual people, tells Viren that it is tradition to mourn for 7 sunsets, and she is clearly upset about this. I like how he shows us, as a viewer, his disrespect for the king. Viren is speaking to the people, and I like how he is speaking about the king. His last words and stuff like this. O'Pelly asks about the princess, and Viren tells the people that Ezran and Callum died too. And there is my first big problem. He had no proof whatsoever for thinking this, even saying this out loud. He should even know that the egg is missing by now, and that the princess have the egg. And he was also with the king when the king sent the message to Amaya. Wouldn't he not know about this as his closest adversary? Why in the hell is he doing this? Just to have the option to be the new king? And even if he would be crowned, the rightful king can't do nothing against this? What I really liked though was the sinister music when Claudia takes out the spider and squashed it, and her expression. Then we come to the next part. Caleb and Rayla are talking about the 6 primal sources of magic, and here we have the second major part I didn't like. We learn in the first episode that it was clear that his skills are not very advanced when it comes to fighting, and he also wears a book, which gives you as a viewer the impression of him being more intellectual than physically strong. So they talk about this, and after he made clear that he does not know about this, you hear from Rayla an annoyed ugh. So the only thing he does all day long is just drawing, no education for the prince. I know they do this because they want to explain to us, viewers, how this stuff works. Would it not make more sense if Callum would know about this kind of stuff and explain this to his little brother, and through this we as a viewer learn with him? And Ezran could have been the one who remembers the cube. And then was Callum not just lucky enough for Rayla to explain it, she also painted it for him so he can remember. And to go to this place for a random MacGuffin instead to bring the egg to the place where it belongs and stopping the war and the killing. Then we have a part about listening to rumors, tales and stories, and this could have been a nice part, but for some reason he is very pompous for no reason at all. The scene could have been a thought-provoking part for kids, but for some reason he is in smug face mode. Then his Aunt Amaya arrives, the second new character. Caleb again, in his stupid mode, made clear for his aunt that someone is with them. And then the breakfast joke. Why in the hell should a trained soldier forget about searching the house and endanger the kids just for the joke? I like the Dirtman joke though. So Ezran talks with Callum and wants to talk with Amaya about the egg and the elves, just telling her everything. But Callum makes a decision based on one sentence she made and decides against this. Do they not know her better? What's going on in this episode? It is also quite interesting to have a mute person in a leader role. How would she give orders while battling an army? But I have to say, I like her a lot. Rayla sneaks through the place and finds the room she's searching for. Then you had a nice little joke with the drawing Callum made to show where the MacGuffin is. For some reason though, after she found the cube, Amaya is behind her. How? How can she be so sneaky? Why didn't we not hear the door? Anyways, we get a little fight, and the fight is cool. I like the fighting style Amaya has. After Amaya defeated her and knocked her out, Rayla wakes up, bound to a timber. Then the next thing I had a big problem with came up. So Caleb and Ezran bring down this pet to her in the room. Likely coincidence that the room she bound her is the same room where the dumb waiter is. So the pet does its light thingy thing and blinds the guard. The guard, not able to see anything, attack her with her weapon for some reason, and that makes it possible for her to get free. So my problem is so many fortunate moments in one episode are painful. Then they run away. Every soldier is seeing how Ezra and Caleb are running right behind Rayla. If she would want to abduct them, why shouldn't they follow her? But of course they get encircled for the next stupid thing to happen. Callum tells Amaya that if she doesn't let them go, then Rayla would kill them and drink their blood. And of course this doesn't work. And of course Rayla is pissed. And of course they find, through coincidence, out that the MacGuffin is a magical object and not a toy, what Rayla said it is. This episode wasn't the worst, but it wasn't good either. You had far too many fortunate events happening, then the brought in a MacGuffin and Calum seems to be the biggest idiot in Xadia. He knows nothing and every decision he makes are not making sense. It had some good things though. The topic with don't listen to stories about people you don't know. I also liked Amaya and her fighting skill. That she interrupt the crowning of Viren could lead to an interesting story. I like the action scenes in general in the show. And at least they had some setup and payoff for certain stuff, even if it was stupid. But I hope that it's getting better again. And I think King Harrow could be in the bird Viren was talking to at the end of the episode. But we will see. So, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new, and follow me on Twitch for live streams. Have a nice one, take care, bye.